Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. We got quite the night already, man. The market is moving and moving and moving. 100 points, 200 points, 150, 100. Nice, man. Alrighty. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Let's fucking get it. Bang, bam, boom. What's good, everybody? Jizzle, what's up, man? Who else we got? So Fly, Jada Great, AV, Raya, Hammy, Steadfast, Jason, Wally Wall, Money Forbes. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, man. Happy Sunday. I need everybody to tune in right now. I'm going to make the announcement now, and I'm going to make the announcement tomorrow morning, and I'm going to make the announcement every morning, okay? I'm requesting PTO Thursday. There's like a 50-50 chance, okay? Friday, it's like a 30-70 chance I will not be trading, okay? No live. I might trade, but I'm not going to be on live, right? That is for this week. Thursday and Friday, I will be traveling. I will have my toes in the sand. It is going to be a great weekend. All right? So I'm just letting you guys know now, in advance. All right? Just an FYI. Whoever thinks that they can replace me, by all means, you have those 2 days to embarrass yourself. And if you don't embarrass yourself, awesome. You got yourself a job. So, if you feel like you want to get embarrassed or you feel like you can fill the role, hit me up. All right? Alrighty, guys, here we go. Welcome, everybody, man. As always, I appreciate every single one of you mother truckers. And let's get it, y'all. It's about that time. First things first here, I do want to take a trade. I do want to take a trade. I can't lie to you one bit. I do want to take me a trade here. I just don't know what I want to trade yet. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, boom, boom. Actually, I do know what I want to trade. See if we can get an entry. Maybe, just maybe. Challenge Jackson Hole, yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting for show. That is gonna be pretty interesting for show. All right, let's get into it. First things first, as always, economic calendar. You guys know the vibes, man. Can everybody see, or do I need to make this bigger? I do need to make that bigger. So, don't tell me we're having technical difficulties this early. Bam, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Can you guys see, or do I need to zoom in? Yeah, that failure to go higher on ES was money. Can everybody see? I'm going to make it bigger just in case. How about that? Bam. Should be able to see now for show. Let me see. Damn, PTO denied. What's up, CG? Cooked, chat. Cooked. Brianna, there we are. Hey, I didn't see you. My bad, my bad. I still haven't forgot the one time that you did miss a live, so that says a lot right there. Zoom in. All right, cool. We're here. Here we go. Monday. Oh, this is the wrong week. Tuesday, August 25th is the start of our data week, okay? We have consumer confidence and new home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The biggest day this week is going to be Wednesday. Wednesday. We have PCE at 8:30, along with GDP and durable good orders. I mean, as an individual data point, these aren't really great to pass evals, but collectively, I would say this is not a bad time to try to pass an eval, right? You can use Thursday morning as a good opportunity to pass an eval. Like I said, individually, they're not very influential, but collectively, if they're good, bad, I think that can give you a nice opportunity there. But Thursday, we have Jackson Hole. That's at 8 a.m. And then we have jobless claims at 8:30. Now, the thing is here, this is back-to-back days. So we have Jackson Hole as well on Friday. And then we have 9:45 PMI and consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. So we got quite the week here. From Tuesday to Friday, data's pretty heavy, right? We can all agree on that. Like I said, the biggest days here are obviously going to be Wednesday morning, Thursday, and Friday, specifically with Jackson Hole. If I recall, the last Jackson Hole, we made an absolute incredible move. I can't give you the exact date, and I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, we did have a very nice move there. But all right, let's get into the important stuff now. NQ, here we go. We have about 7 days left on this monthly, okay? And if we look at this monthly chart, we can all agree on one thing. The market is ungodly bullish, right? Last month, we pulled back. We held this structure. And even this month, right? What have we done this month? We've, in reality, done nothing, right? We opened, we ripped, and we've essentially just sat in the middle of this monthly candle. So, I mean, this is an inside bar, right? That's what this is called. We're trading inside of that previous monthly candle. This is a toss-up, right? Going into, what is next month? August, September? October? Yeah, September, I think. This is a toss-up, guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality of this chart. This is a toss-up. You know, we could rip. We could dip. That is a fact, right? Yeah. I mean, we could open next month and blast an all-time highs, or we could fill lower. It's an inside bar. And when you see these type of setups, what's most important is the overall context, right? That's the most important, right? So from a monthly perspective, keep things simple. We're bullish. Now, what I really want to talk about for this week is this weekly chart, okay? Like I said, what did we do here? We pulled back and we held a macro demand. So structurally, this is still bullish, okay? We popped and now we have a lower high here. So this is where the big question mark comes into play, right? Is this going to be a lower high and we come back down to these lows? Or is this going to hold here, make a higher low again, and rip? That is why there's a big question mark here. Do we know? Not really. But what can tell us is simply that previous week's low. So if you guys noted what I remember on Friday, or noted what I said on Friday, is if we're above that previous week's low, this is bullish. Point blank period. Okay? Could you catch a little short scalp in between? Yes. But if we're above that previous week's low, this week, that is bullish, right? Because we have to take that as a higher low, because we have yet to break it. A higher low is what? A higher low is quite literally when we have a low and then a higher low is made above that low, right? That is the definition of an uptrend. And what did we just do here? We made a low that is higher than the previous low. So we have to take it for face value. The chart's not going to lie to us, right? A higher low is what? What we're seeing. A low that is higher than the previous low, right? Is the context there for us to go higher? Yes, it is. We just held that macro structure and we're bullish. So anybody who tells you something different, you need to shit can them and keep it pushing. But this is huge, right? So long as we're above that previous week's low, yeah, we have to take this chart as bullish, right? Now the daily on NQ, in my opinion, is the cleanest, right? We had this massive structure. We broke down, we held that demand, and we caught a nice move higher. Now let's focus on what's important, which is over here, okay? What are we doing right here? That's the million-dollar question. What are we doing right here, right? We just held demand. That's what we did. We just held demand. Okay? So moving forward, like I said, that previous week's low, if we are above this, we are bullish, right? That is the bottom line here. There's no other way to look at this chart. If we are above that previous week's low, the level exactly would be 29,200. We're bullish. That's the bottom line here. So going into this week, it's tricky, right? Because if you look at this hourly chart, we're technically in a downtrend, right? So we have conflict here, right? We have a failure to go higher, attempted to go higher, we failed, lower high, low, lower high, lower low, massive downside move, and what have we done? We've traded lower, right? So technically speaking, here on the hourly, this is a downtrend. But again, you have to revert back to that macro context. We're bullish, right? We just closed into a demand. More importantly, we're sitting at that 236 retracement from that massive rip. So we have a big confluence here. So this week's session, specifically tonight into tomorrow, this is your range, right? Previous day's high, previous day's low. Like I said, long as we're above 29,200, I have no other way to interpret this chart than bullish on a macro scheme, right? Now, could there be value here if we pop into previous day's high and fail? Sure. Could there be value here if we pop into here and fail? Sure. But I'm going to be leaning more towards the bullish side as long as this demand holds. So my game plan this week is pull back and hold. That's a long opportunity. Get back above previous day's high and hold. That is the squeeze opportunity back into 29,680. Then we got room into that 29,800. This is the big pivot here, okay? I want you guys to focus on this 29,800. That's the long scenario, okay? If we get back into this 29,800 area, that's that last lower high. That's why I'm saying this. If we get back into this area and then fail, that can cause serious trouble. But again, this week is defined based off previous week's low. Okay, if we lose previous week's low, by all means, short everything moving. But as long as we're above it, I would say there's a great chance that we do squeeze higher, back into 29,500, 29,800, and then obviously once we get above 29,800, it's nothing but room in at 30,000, and that's ultimately that big structure for the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm watching there. Outside of that, we have ES here. If you look at this chart, what do you say? I got one question for everybody. Okay, I'm going to draw this on my chart. Let's say this is the 5-minute time frame. Let's say this is hourly. Let's say this is the daily. This is the weekly. What are you going to do with a setup like this? Just tell me right now, are you going to go long or are you going to go short? Here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can get the overall trend here, okay? You don't have to be a professional trader to know what to do here. Looking at this chart, right? Would you go short here or would you go long here? Right? We are just testing this structure, right? Just like over here, what happened? Previous all-time highs, what did we do? We came back, we retested, and we ripped, right? What are we doing here? Retesting previous all-time highs. So again, just like NQ, your mindset on ES this week is defined off of that previous week's low. We have to interpret this as a higher low. Why? It is a low that is quite literally higher than the previous low. So long as we're above that previous week's low, we have no choice but to look at this chart in a bullish mindset. Does that mean that, hey, long everything, long everything? No, that's not necessarily what that means, but that does mean we need to take into account that that macro structure is bullish. If you look at the hourly here, it's a totally different picture, right? We had a major supply, we attempted to go higher, made a lower high, made a low, and we see massive downside resulting in a what? We're in a downtrend here on the hourly. What does a downtrend consist of? Lower highs and lower lows. What are we making here? Lower highs and lower lows. So we have that conflict, but what's most important is to always revert back to the context. So ES here, I really want you guys to focus on one thing, okay? Again, previous week's low and 7,700, 7,715. Again, if we pop into this area and fail, sure, that could be a nice short opportunity, right? If we lose previous week's low, that is the God tier short opportunity. But like I said, long as we're above previous week's low this week, that I have to lean more towards bullish, right? If we get back above 7,700, that's a long opportunity into 7,715. Get above 7,715, we go back into 7,745. The major supply here on ES is going to be that 7,770, and then obviously that 7,800, okay? As you can see here, this structure is relatively clean, right? If you look at the daily, we're going to do one of two things here, right? We're either going to maintain this structure, make a lower high and dump, or we're quite literally just going to reclaim and rip. So that's why I said that it's so crucial to watch that previous week's low and that previous day's high. YM here. Okay, what are we doing? We just pulled back and essentially retested demand. This was one of the weakest names last week's session, but again, looking at this chart, what are you going to do here, right? You see the overall context, right? What is the most logical thing for a trader to do here looking at this chart, right? We've already looked at NQ, we've already looked at ES. The most logical thing here would be trade with a trend, right? So looking at this chart, we have no choice again here also but to be bullish. We just held that macro structure. We reclaimed that previous hourly. So YM here, again, your level is previous week's low, right? If we can get back above that previous day's high, the major level here is 53,700. If we reclaim that, we're likely going back in all-time highs, right? Downside, 52,800, right? That's the nature of that chart. RTY. You look at this chart. What are we doing? Third touch of trend line support. Also, a major confluence with demand. So if you notice a theme between all four of these charts, they are bullish, right? Yes, we had nice downside, but out of all charts, this is actually the cleanest. Resistance, support, support, and we have a confluence with that trend line. And we have a confluence with that 3,000 level. We are holding a macro structure here. This is one of my favorite charts, right? We swept that previous low, attempted to go lower, reclaimed 3,000, made a higher low above it, and we're building. So RTY here, this is our level, 30.25. If we can get above that and hold, we free reigns, 30.30, free reigns, 30.60, ultimate target all-time highs. So as long as this structure is intact, this is a chart that looks good for higher. If we lose 3,000, by all means, short it into the abyss. But until then, that's what we're working with. Side note, let's talk about our fucking gold. Holy cow, man. If you guys remember, I challenge you guys to go back and look. Everybody called me crazy. Called me crazy, right? When I talked about gold down here, 4,000. Told everybody, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. We get above 42.80, this is going to go parabolic. People are making fun of me on Twitter, this and that. And now look, right? It's the same story over and over and over. People like to buy up here, right? I talked about this on Friday. No one wanted to buy gold when the opportunity was there. Everybody wanted to buy gold after it was already moved. You know why? Because people lack the proper education, right? They feed off of what is happening versus the overall chart structure. They get motivated by moves, right? They don't get motivated by opportunity before the move. They get motivated by the move. Just like example on Tesla on Friday. People are tagging me, can I enter after we're up 400%? Like, that's not how you trade, right? Like, anyway, this gold was beautiful. Massive demand hold, structure. I mean, this is just bullish, right? Wait for a dip and buy it. Silver was a trade that we actually caught together. This was awesome. We had this beautiful trendline support, bullish divergence, A+ setup across the board. We added our position, added to it, and we caught majority of this move. Now, I'm a little frustrated because I didn't re-enter, and I said I was going to, but that was beautiful, man. We had this beautiful structure, pulled back, held. That was our last opportunity. Missed it, but it's not over, right? If we pull back, I will take this, 1,000%. Platinum also, legendary trade, right? Beautiful macro break and retest here. If you didn't catch that trade, you could have taken the break and retest here. Now, what I'm watching for is the break and retest here. So if we can pull back in 1,800 and hold, I'm going to long this. I'm going to take silver, I'm going to take platinum, I'm going to take gold, I'm taking one of them, right? One of them's getting taken. Anywho, let's get into the fun names. MicroStrategy. Man, we've been watching this for literally ages, right? We've been watching this 80 level for ages. We picked up long term down here, and we've been hawking this chart for a swing, and I'm happy to say that we got it, right? We got it. We caught it last week, holding through the weekend. This is a beautiful chart, man. We held that macro demand. We created that base, and look at that breakout. So moving forward here on MicroStrategy, long as we are above 105, this is bullish. Okay, if you don't have any long term, I think it's a great time to add some, right? If we pull back this week, I will be looking to add. This is an extremely beautiful chart. I would consider this an A+ swing setup by far, across the board, right? This is what an A+ chart looks like. We had that massive structure. We broke. This looks amazing. So this week, what I'm watching for, pull back 116, pull back 105. Either way it goes, I'm longing it. Get above 127, we go parabolic. Another one, coin here. This was actually the nicer one. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Held that macro demand. Daily chart here. Reclaim that structure, and the rest was history. Hopefully some of you guys caught this, right? If you go back and look at the chat, we've been buying coin since back here. I've been holding coin long term literally this whole time. Pretty crazy. But what are we watching this week? Number 1, demand. Number 2, demand. Okay. Pullback, 180, 175. Go long. If we can get above 192, this goes back into 200 plus. These are my 2 top watches this week, MicroStrategy and coin. Next, we have AMD here. It's kind of done a bunch of fuck nothing throughout last week's session. We have a double inside bar. What I really like about this is, number 1, we're sitting at this massive structure at 460, and we're sitting at this below this massive structure at 477. You know what this is called? This is called a no trade zone. But if we can get above, or if we can get below, this quickly becomes an A+ setup, right? If we can hold this 460 demand, reclaim 477, that's the A+ long setup. If we can fail 477 and lose 460, that's the A+ short setup. So long as we can break this range this week on AMD, this is the chart to trade. We have a ton of room lower into 420. Above 477, we have a ton of room higher with a gap fill into 500. So either way it goes, this is a beautiful chart this week. Next, we have Tesla. This was our 500% trade on Friday. Absolute beauty, man. We had the big sell-off of earnings. We had that structure over here at 340, built into it, got the break of that gap fill, and we nailed this last week. A little concern here on Tesla. As you guys can see, we closed back into what? A major supply. Is this bearish? Not necessarily, but it's something to be aware of, right? But what I want to talk about on Tesla is my top watch. Bam, you see it, 350. The same breakout we took on Friday is the same level we're going to slam this week. If we can pull back and hold this 350, 352, that is a long opportunity. If Tesla can get above 368, guess what? That is a long opportunity. So those are my 2 top watches this week on Tesla, either pullback, long, or breakout. All right. Lastly here, we have Meta, one of the weakest names in the market as of late. But we are now approaching that macro demand. Meta has had a time off of this level, pretty much popping 30 to 40% every single time. So with that being said, it's time for Meta to shit or get off the pot. And you guys know one of my favorite setups to trade is a drop base, and that is what we have here. Perfect drop, and we have now formed a perfect base. This would be considered my no trade zone, but if Meta can fail 558 and lose 540, that gives us room into 520. If Meta can hold 540 and get back above 558, that gives us room into 580. So either way it goes, just like AMD, this is a beautiful chart if we can break the range, right? If we can get our drop base rally, or if we can get our drop base drop, I think this is a beautiful name to trade this week. Yeah, man, looks great. Okay, looks great, looks great, looks great. So keeping a close eye on Meta this week. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. Let me double check. I don't think I'm watching anything swing-wise. Oh, Disney. Disney kind of left us at the gas station, though. But we have this daily double bottom. Reclaim that 100 level. Reclaim that structure. If Disney can get a higher low here, I don't mind this for a swing. But, yeah, man. Bull, yeah, that was a nice one. I just was a greedy bastard. I swung bull through earnings. Had, I think it was 2,300, 2,500 shares. I'm still holding them. I could have taken profit. I was up almost 20%, like 4,000, something like that. But I ended up holding it. My stop is break even, and that's pretty much the game plan. If we can pull back and hold, I'll keep holding. If not, I get stopped, scratch trade. But yeah, that's a big breakout. If this can hold, that's huge. But like I said on Friday, we're at equally big supply, right? Like this is a mega supply. This is like the supply of all supplies, as you guys can see. So got to be very careful there. Anywho, yeah, man, that's what I'm watching this week. That's why I'm watching it. If you guys got any tickers you want me to check out, now's your time to post them. I'll check out a few, and then we'll get into some questions. PayPal, sure. What is this? Am I looking at PayPal? Yeah. It reclaimed that massive structure. That's a plus. As long as we're above 52, this is now bullish. Outside of that, outside of that, I really don't have too much to say here, other than watch a pullback into 57, or watch a pullback into 52. That's about all I got for you on PayPal. TEM, got you. Oh, wow. That was the opportunity here. Double bottom. That was the opportunity. Beautiful double bottom. Nice higher low there, too. But if you're dead set on trading this, your level is 63. Pull back into 63 and can hold. That would be your long opportunity. As long as we're above that, that would be bullish. Next level up here is about 80. But yeah, that's a runaway train. mRNA, man, that was insane. That was life-changing, man. Life-changing move right there. 182% on a name like mRNA. Those contracts did almost 1,000,000%. You could have literally turned $1,000 into almost $1 million. Like, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity by far. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But anyway, I wouldn't trade this, especially when shit like that's going on. But if you do want to trade it, 115, 120 big, 194 is big. Outside of that, I'm not going to say much else. What else? Amazon. All right, I'll do two more, then I'll check out crypto. Amazon. Yes, this is a very nice chart, actually. 258. That's your almighty level. Okay, you guys can see here. Massive resistance, which is now being held as support. If we hold here, this is where we likely squeeze higher. If Amazon loses this 258, we have a mega gap fill lower. So this is an important watch, an important level to watch, excuse me, 258. Snow, this is actually a very nice chart. I've seen this last night. Yeah, this is beautiful. Long as we're above 280, this is bullish. Get a higher low, long it. That's about all I gotta say there. All right, we'll get into some crypto real quick. Bitcoin came to life. 60,000 held. I talked about that reclaim of 68. Here we are now back at the major inflection point. This is hold or fold for Bitcoin, right? This is it right here. It's time for it to shit or get off the pot. We're either going to fail and go back to lows, or we're going to reclaim and actually get some momentum going. So 78, 80,000 is the big level here on Bitcoin, but looks good. If anybody bought those lows, about 30%, not too bad. Ethereum was the one, to be honest. This was a damn near 50% trade. I was fortunate enough to pick some up off of the 1600 area, 1500 area. That was a very big move, almost 60%. But again, you know, that was a nice rip, but where did we rip back into? Just back into supply. So now we're just pinned in between this big supply, big demand, 2600 here, 1500 there. And that's pretty much it. Let me see what else we got here. I'll check out one more hood. All right, let's get it. Nice reclaim on hood. I would say the big level to watch here is at 100. As long as we're above 100, I would say this looks good for higher into 120. That's about all I got to say there. But yeah, man, that's what I'm watching this week. That's why I'm watching it. If anybody got any last minute questions, now's your time. I'm on a little time crunch here, so let's get this thing crack-a-lacking. Let me see. Go ahead and bang, move that over there. Boom, boom, boom. VQ, what's up, man? Here we go. All right. Ready? One and done. Let's get it. Keyword this week is going to be beach. Beach, beach, beach. Good luck, everybody. After this, I do have to rock out. I don't have much time tonight. Keyword equals beach. Good luck, good luck, good luck. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta go. Oh, already. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good luck, everybody. See what we got here. Sean, that's a good winner. It might be CG. Ah! That's fire. Out of how many? Let me see. Let's go. How many people? So she had like 1 out of 700. That's fire, man. That's fire, fire, fire. She is an awesome team member. She is an awesome person. So well deserved. I'll get you taken care of. Let me know what you want to count, whatever you want. Just let me know. Just text it to me and I'll get it to you. All right, since CG won, we'll do another one. She gets a special surprise. Not like that, but you know what I'm saying. All right, we'll run it back. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Bam. I have a Lucid case I want to give away. Unless she wants that, I'll just get another one, but it doesn't matter. Nice. Good stuff, CG. SoFly TV, that's a good one. Who else we got here? Mickey D's. Mickey D's. Mickey D's. Where you at? Mickey D's. Mickey D's. NQ is looking pretty interesting. These swings are pretty crazy. 100 points, 200 points, 100 points, 100 points, 100 points. Shit is wicked. Shit is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Where is... Damn, Mickey D's. Where you at, my man? You get lost in the sauce? Where you at, my boy? Yeah, NQ, I'm not gonna lie, is looking pretty good. I'm tempted to take it, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I mean, he didn't claim it, did he? My boy's cooked. Let me see. Yeah, alright. I guess we run it back. Good luck, everybody. Who we got here? It's going to be Nick or Lee. Nick Nagy. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where are you, my boy? Damn, man, everybody's sleeping or what? I ain't even gonna wait 13 seconds. My man, you are cooked. How do I get out of here? Alt-R, refresh. I'm not waiting 4 seconds. Should have been here. All right, let's do a fresh one. We'll do a quick one. Quick keyword is 1, 2, 3. Let's go. I ain't got time to wait all day. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna clear everybody. There we go. I ain't never had 2 people back to back like that. Just dip off. Oh, whoops. I'm liking NQ. I'll probably signal something here in a minute. All right, 5, 4. The reward period is going to 30 seconds. Good luck, everybody. 3, 2, and 1. I've seen P Dizzle, So Fly, Travis, Steadfast. That is a great winner. Give it to him. Ah! Diggs, that's a good winner too. Steadfast been here forever. Diggs, that's a good winner. I think he's a minty. Where you at, Diggs? Where you at, my boy? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you're sitting in the cuck chair, Steadfast. Damn, Diggs, ain't no way. Yeah, you are cooked as well, my boy. Oh, no, there we go. Good, just came through. Alrighty, y'all. I am out of here. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. As always, shout out to CG, man. Shout out to Diggs. Nick and Mickey D's. Snooze, you lose, man. Anywho, I will signal this on NQ here in a few moments. And I'm probably going to head to bed, man. I got to run a quick errand. And, yep, I'll catch you guys bright and early in the morning. This week, it's going to be a short week for me because I'm going to the beach. But I was about to say something. I'll post it later. Anywho, again, man, appreciate all of you guys as always. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. See the majority of you guys in the morning. You guys know the vibes, man. You guys have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys in the morning. Peace, y'all.